These are the items needed for part 1 of the lab. To see the pH effect, there were 3 conditions. The plain boiled water was the control, the vinegar as the acid, and the baking soda as the alkaline. I added 4 tablespoons to their own pot and let them simmer for 5 minutes. On the left was the acid, the vegetables that were in vinegar, and on the right was in the control. As you will see, the vegetables that were in the acid condition looked more dull and lighter, almost like they were bleached. Broccoli represented chlorophyll. For broccoli, this happens because the acid causes it to lose magnesium and gain hydrogen, which leads to their color changing. The carrot is a carotenoid that is more stable, so its color didn't change much. For the anthocyanin shown by the cauliflower, it became whiter, and the anthocyanins represented by the red cabbage turned more magenta, a more purplish red color. And the ones that were in the plain water were brighter because boiling water removed oxygen from their interstellar space. The vegetables that were in the baking soda solution made them very soft and brighter in color. The broccoli kept its color because the space stopped chlorophyll from switching to phenolphthalein, which will darken it. The carrot color didn't change much. It did become more softer and more bendy. Since cauliflower is a water-soluble flavonoid, its color changed to a duller yellow and made it very soft. Red cabbage is also a water-soluble flavonoid and are more sensitive, which caused it to turn to a bluish-green color and very soft. These are the items needed for the second part of the lab. First, I boiled the potatoes separately. Waxy was red, all-purpose gold, and non-waxy was russet. I added a half a teaspoon of salt and covered them with a lid. They boiled for about 22 minutes until they were tender enough to go through a fork. I split them 6 for smashing and 6 for just boiled. I used an electric mixer on the lowest setting, which was 2 to mash the potatoes. I added 1 teaspoon of butter and 1 teaspoon of milk to each potato mix. I mixed them for about 2 minutes until they were a smoother texture. First are the waxy red potatoes. They were smooth but chunky with a strong potato taste and thick as well. Next is the non-waxy russet potatoes. They were smooth and creamy without a strong potato taste, and they're also thick. Next is the all-purpose gold potatoes. They were smooth but lumpy, creamy, thick, and they had the best taste overall. The waxy red potatoes, when boiled, were harder to peel back than the others. It did have a less strong potato taste and a thick texture, and it was a little bit harder to crumble. The skin on the boiled non-waxy russet potato was easier to peel back. It had a drier taste, initially making me feel like I needed to drink some water, and it was slightly creamy and a little easier to crumble. Lastly, the boiled all-purpose gold potatoes were very soft, smooth, easy to bite into, and hydrating. It was not dry at all, and it was very easy to crumble. Overall, red waxy potatoes are high in sugar and low in starch, and they hold their shape well and are better for boiling. Russet non-waxy potatoes are high in starch and low in sugar, and they go through genotypization during boiling, making them better for mashing, baking, and frying. Gold all-purpose potatoes hold their shape well and are softer. These are good for boiling and mashing. After tasting both the boiled and mashed, I prefer the gold potatoes, taste and texture-wise.